Ya po, extraño Chile po. And good morning. Welcome to another beautiful day here in Ecuador. I'm out here with the dogs right now. They're having a whole lot of fun listening to me speak in English. Might be a little strange for some of you who maybe aren't used to me speaking in English, but here I am. I'm a gringo. I speak English and then I also speak some Spanish. Not very great, but I do speak some Spanish as well. Today, I'm introducing something new to the channel, which is Wednesdays English, Sundays are going to be Spanish. So if you like to listen to me in Spanish, Sundays are for you. Those are going to be more professional type videos. This is going to be more of a let's just talk about life and come for an adventure with me type of a day. And that's pretty much what I want to do in English. Not scripted, just having fun, enjoying life, enjoying dogs, meeting Elise and Moses and talking with them and just having some conversations about what we're doing. Today we're doing just that though. We're talking about something that Moses has been talking about for a while. He's been selling so many different things of his and he's been saving up all of his allowance money in order to go back to Chile. So today we're going to be talking about, well, do we go back to Chile? Let's talk about that right now. You all know this already, but if not, our dogs, there we go, that's better. Our dogs are actually from Chile. So we have Lena, that's Chilena. We have Coley, that's from Colbún. And then we have Shakira, that was named by Moses. But we honestly love Chile. And it's something that's on our minds all the time of going back to Chile and living there, or at least going to visit Chile. And recently, Moses has been selling all of his things, not all of them, but he's been selling his things and saving up money. And we said, what do you want to do with this? Do you want to buy Legos? Do you want to buy this? Do you want to go and see Grandma and Grandpa? And he said, I want to go to Chile. And so we're trying to save up to do that. For those of you who don't know who I am, I lived in Chile for 7 years. We lived in a small little town called Linares. And it's just a typical place that you could go and you could live. As a gringo, I loved it there. It was a small town and I could ride my one wheel everywhere. It was a beautiful thing. And, well, Moses was born there and he was raised there until he was 3 years old. So our hearts are in Linares, Chile. Let's throw the ball. Ready? I love playing with our dogs. We got dogs basically because, well, we wanted to get outside. Sometimes with work, it's pretty hard to get outside and just be outside with the dogs. It forces you to be out here every single day, which is a beautiful thing. And I feel like I'm really far away from you guys. All right, let's keep throwing the ball. And here's something that we weren't necessarily expecting. We actually do really like Ecuador as well. There have been so many problems, political problems, there have been problems with electricity, and then some people have no water because they need a pump to get that. It's just a big problem here. There's so many different things. And honestly, something we weren't expecting was that we would really fall in love with Ecuador. It's actually a really beautiful place to live and to come and visit. Waterfalls everywhere. Usually there's water. Right now, there's a lot of problems here in Ecuador. One of those problems is no electricity. Another one is there's actually no water for some people because you need electricity to do the pump to bring the water up to their house. And there's all sorts of political problems and drug problems and all this kind of stuff. But besides all of that, it's actually a very beautiful place to live. Even without electricity, we don't need any heating, we don't need any cooling in our house. Every day it's the perfect temperature, and sometimes it rains, I love going for bike rides outside of my house. There's so many different places to go biking, hiking, doing all these things that I really enjoy doing outdoors. And of course, Lena, I think she likes it too. She's adapted. The only hard part is that we live so high. So after being gone and going to visit people or being outside of this country, we're at about 8,000 feet where we live. So when we go to 0 feet in elevation, coming back here is brutal to do exercise. But the dogs don't mind. They just stay here. And they're having so much fun. Look, there's Lena. Here she is. Lena's the white dog. Lena Chilena. She's like 8 years old. Hi, Lena. She wants to keep running. So what do we miss about Chile? Well, I talked about Linares, just a small town feel. I miss the one wheel, everything flat. I miss, really, our friends. I miss so many different things about Chile, and there are some things that I haven't done yet, like the Carretera Austral. That's something that I've always wanted to do and make videos on the way and show us going through this amazing part of Patagonia, really all of Patagonia. And my goodness, what a cool trip that would be. So there's that. And then we keep talking about going to the desert and going to Atacama again and just how beautiful that is. And then of course, like Parque Guayaquil we love, and all the places and friends and things that we haven't done and have done that we just want to do again. We just have this like in our heart of missing Chile. But let's hear what Moses says. I have to go get him. Okay, before we go anywhere, Moses, everyone wants to know, why in the world do you want to go back to Chile?
That's a good question though. Let's see. I want to go back to Chile first because it's my home. And secondly, because they have a beautiful view.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's your home where you were born and it has a beautiful view. Nice. Those are good reasons, Mo. Great reasons to go back and visit our friends. Yes?
Why are we doing this in English?
That's a good question. A very good question. Isn't here right now because she's on her way to Argentina and Uruguay. But if she were here, she would say she misses the empanadas and she misses our friends. She misses Parque Guayaquil, the mountains, the beautiful places, and the small community of Linares. Moving here to Quito is way different than living in Linares, Chile. Linares has about 100,000 people, but it feels like 10,000 people. Here in Quito, there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of people who live here, millions actually, who live here in Quito and around Quito. So it's very, very different. And then too, the ability just to go hiking and go camping almost anywhere in Chile and not have to worry about where you're going to sleep and if somebody's going to kidnap you or steal all of your stuff. The insecurity here is really something to think about if you are thinking of coming here to Ecuador. It's not the safest place in the world, especially to go camping and things like that. You have to rent your campground, kind of like in the States, but you have to go to a place that's very secure, and then it's a lot more expensive than going camping in the United States. At least the places that we've seen are fairly expensive around here in Ecuador. But in Chile, they're free. You can go on the side of the road, you can camp anywhere you want to for free. And we did that in Chiloé. We would go to the beaches and just put up our tent and we would be perfectly fine. We had dolphins that were swimming right next to us and it was just a beautiful thing. And we're still looking for that here. I think it exists, but we just haven't found that yet. And it's almost been 3 years. I don't know if any of you can relate to what I'm talking about of just missing being there in Chile. There's something about just the food, the atmosphere, the way that everyone lives. the way that Linares is, that's just a little different for us. And honestly, the transition here to Quito has been a little bit rough in that way. In finding new friends, starting all over again. We have a lot more than what we ever had in Linares. We have a cinema. We went and saw Wicked the other day, which was awesome. It's about 3 minutes away from our house to go to the cinema. You can go anywhere you want to and buy anything you pretty much want to here because there are 3 malls within a couple of miles from our house, which is incredible. But it's kind of fun not to have that kind of stuff and just rely on friends. And I remember our first neighbor in Chile that said, oh, if you need anything, any sugar or things like that, just come over. And it's actually like the movies. Like you see that in the movies of going to borrow some sugar at the neighbor's house. But in Chile, it's actually like that. And that's just a beautiful thing that, well, we miss a little bit here in Ecuador. I don't know if we'll be able to go back to Chile, but we are taking a look at how to get there. We're trying to find the best way to get there with LATAM or any other airline and just trying to figure out if we can make it work to go and visit. It's really hard to move our whole family all the way back to Chile, but I think that maybe we come and visit and see our friends and see Chile and show Chile here on this channel again. We've missed it, and maybe you've missed it too here on this channel, talking about and sharing all the places around Chile. We love it there. But there are so many other places too that are beautiful. You saw my trip to Colombia, you saw my trip to Argentina, you saw all these different places we've been able to and blessed to be able to go and visit. And that's a pretty cool thing. So very blessed for being here and traveling and seeing all these different places, but in our heart, we're still missing Chile just a little bit. Hopefully you can understand, hopefully you get that. If you don't, that's okay. If you do, well, I'm glad you do. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video for today. Moses is playing soccer right behind me. And, well, maybe we'll see some videos in Chile coming soon. If you work for any tourism agency or anything like that, or any connections to airlines or things like that in Chile, just let me know. I would love to hear from you. And, well, we'll see you guys next time. Maybe from Cordillera de Chile. But for now, we'll be back with another Spanish-speaking video on Sunday. But for now, ciao, pescado.